Right guys, in today's video we're gonna talk about my top 10 fall and autumn, I was gonna say winter, fragrances that I'm gonna wear for sure. Here are my favorites. This is Clémence, I talk about fragrance. Welcome back. Right, just to let you know, I went a little crazy, I think, in my choices. I was so excited to get out of summer that I literally took fragrances that are nuclear bombs. Oops. My number 10 is Juicebox Studio 54, and this is actually the first time that I get to see and smell fragrances by Juicebox. A lot of friend content creators told me how good were the fragrances, but I never tried before. So their fragrances are inspired by music, and this one particularly is inspired by disco. If you know a little bit of history and pop culture and stuff like this, Studio 54 was like kind of like a nightclub that was super, not posh, but more like celebrities were going there, people that were really on trend, trendy, they were going there. You were taking some substance, dancing, you were smelling like patchouli, you were smoking in the club. It was really that vibe, you know, like that 70s crazy disco, psychedelic vibe. And one ingredient that I said was really popular was patchouli. Earthy note, intoxicating, lots of density, like creamy at the same time. It was really everywhere. In that fragrance, this is full on. A more modernized patchouli because it's paired with a gourmand accord with chocolatey note. And you can really smell it. That's actually the first feeling I smelled in that fragrance. It made me think a bit of Angel Thierry Mugler. Not like it's very similar, but this is an accord that you can find in Angel Thierry Mugler. It's much more lighter, not as dense and qualitative maybe. You have a lot of boozy notes. There's a bit of rum, but it's pina colada as well. So it feels extremely creamy. It adds on the creaminess of patchouli. So literally the perfumer, Julien Rasquinet, they took it to the extreme and it really pushed you into an atmosphere, this kind of club in the 70s, but with a modern take on it. These fragrances have been in collaboration with the perfume guy, Sebastian, that I met at the masterclass over there. I think he did a fantastic job. So they worked all in collaboration with the founder and Julien Rasquinet as well, that is really good into any heavy woody scents. So I think it was really made for him. I smell quite a lot of content creator fragrance, and that's the best after eye, hands down, for sure. It's amazing. Highly recommend to you. And oh yeah, you spray that, it's atomic. Huh? I sprayed 2 sprays and it was so strong and it lasted for ages. Oh my god, it's so sexy though. I can't wait to wear that like in a proper party, you know. Love this. My number 9 is La Liturgie des Heures by Jovoy, a fragrance that I recently had it in my collection, but I've been loving since years. I'm telling you already, this fragrance, nobody's gonna like it. Like it's not very popular and appealing fragrance for most of all, just because it smelled a bit like a Catholic church, the cold stones of a Catholic church, or the incense that you have in the pomander when the time of the ceremony is on, you know, balsamic, ambery, but very religious smell. That's the fragrance I'm actually wearing today. It's not something that I'm gonna wear often, but I really like those kind of scents, especially me when it's balsamic. It makes me think of the gloomy season a bit of fall, which I adore, by the way. I love this kind of nostalgic things, atmosphere. My grandmom, when I was a kid, used to take me to the church. I'm not really religious, to be frankly honest, but I definitely have more like a Catholic education. I've been to a Catholic school, so, you know. I appreciate going to a church and to find that serenity that no other place has than a church. You sit down, there's no noise, there's a little bit of that dramatic Gothic look in the church, and I find it extremely relaxing. I don't think you need to be Catholic to understand that. But yeah, it's a bit of an alien, voilà. It's very strong as well, just to let you know. My number 8 is Insulo by Jeroboam. That's a vanilla smell, a very creamy vanilla, heavy one, maybe a bit heady for some people. Be careful. It's on the paper, it's written vanilla, jasmine, musk, And again, with a fragrance from Jeroboam, it happened with Gozo. I see the composition, this is not what I smell. Yes, it smells powdery vanilla, but for me it smells like toffee. But it's very realistic, it's not like something that is very childish. Yeah, actually the vanilla you could say is tiny bit burned as well. It could resemble, for example, Vanilla 28 from Kajal, but Kajal ones are much more sweet and sugary, whereas this is like the serious version of this, I would say. I think it's very sensual. I'm actually having some compliments already, so I'm really happy. But be careful because it's not like a very easy vanilla. Number 7 is Platinum 22. Star ingredient of fall is violet, narcissus, vetiver, incense. Those things that make me think a bit of like a nostalgic, gloomy, powdery, this kind of scent. I find them really adapted to the mood of that season. So this really smells like a silky scarf. The iris is powdery, but it's not too intoxicating. There's something slightly buttery to it as well when you smell it. Buttery, violet, enveloping, a bit like old-time makeup. It smells also like black tea. It's a bit of a chai latte or breakfast tea. At least a black tea, you know, in that scent. It's perfectly balanced as usual. It's not too strong, it's not too light. I love florists. They are the most timeless, the most elegant. And this fragrance has kind of a story because it was done for the Platinum 22 of Queen Elizabeth. She approved that fragrance a few months or just a year before her passing. Kind of going into history. I really love that fragrance, really love it. My number 6 is Narcisse Taiji by Atelier Materi. I absolutely love that. And I actually surprised because it's a Narcissus fragrance. So it smells like a yellow floral with green notes. So you could say it's maybe a little bit more feminine, but really my boyfriend wears that more than me. Every time he sprays it, it's so intoxicating. I can follow him, but I actually really like it. I think it's a very unusual smell and I love that. Creamy, floral, there's tuberose, but for me I smell more the narcissus in there. So you have a bit of ginger that gives an electrifying scent. A bit of pear. Narcissus is a flower that smells green, a bit poisonous. So it has a little bit of, for me, like a very charismatic touch. And I love that. It stays on forever. And also this is from Brittany, where I'm from, so particularly proud. 5 is Vetiver Gris by Jacques Fass. I wanted something a little bit lighter, something a little bit easier to wear. It's going to be like maybe a little bit more masculine for this one because it's a vetiver fragrance. A vetiver is like cut grass smell that is a little bit burnt, like it smells like the ground. It smells a bit smoky sometimes. And it's really like something that was used a lot in the gentleman apparel. It's great to wear every day. It's super versatile and it gives, you know, that old-time charm, but also kind of casual. So this is the classic kind of vetiver, but this one is a little bit more modern because it's not full of ingredients. It's quite simple in the composition and you get like a lot of citrus that feels a bit bitter as well. That gives a really nice touch to that fragrance, and a bit more galbanum. So it feels a bit greener. So for example, if you compare it to a famous vetiver like a Terre d'Hermès, it feels much more greener. Smooth, a bit more powdery. Beautiful vetiver. For every day, it's great. I also find that vetiver fragrance on women is very chic. So don't be scared, ladies, to wear some woody fragrance. My number 4 is Esplendor by Granado. What a beautiful amber fragrance. Amber, vanilla. It smells like lily and freesia as well. Your regular amber vanilla scent, a bit resinous, but you had a little bit of a classy, light and delicate florals. Lily and freesia, these are two flowers that really are light in the scent and smell a bit romantic, sometimes a bit old-fashioned, but in here I think it gives just like a level of sophistication that is great to balance the scent. Really velvety, cashmerean, it's very soft, close to the skin, doesn't give like a huge sillage, but for me I really praise those type of fragrance, especially if you're going on a date, especially if it's like to seduce someone, or if you're going to office. You need to be mindful of the projection of your fragrance. It's not always great to have a super powerful fragrance. No, it's not always appropriate. This kind of scent is great when you want to create a level of intimacy with someone. You know, like you want to go closer, it's really addictive, you want to eat the skin, you know. Voilà. It makes me think of Gentle Fluidity Gold from Maison Francisco Jean, but I would say this one is more softer. I would say it's less on the vanilla. This one is a little bit more balanced with florals. Beautiful. My number 3 is a recent addition of my collection. It's called Né the Light. I've been to Sweden. I did like a vlog for you guys and I discovered that brand and I actually fell in love from that fragrance. Just a note that I actually received so many compliments out of this fragrance. I'm really happy. I've been wearing it now since I got back from Sweden. All of the time. I spray all the time. I love it. Mainly like a fruity, woody fragrance. It's a contrast between fruits, but a different kind of fruits. Rhubarb and tangerine. Love rhubarb. Absolutely love rhubarb. Juicy, bitter, a little bit green. Delicious. Cashmere woods again, so it feels like a beautiful and cozy scent. But the fragrance brand is all about meditating, a little bit like you're in a spa. Your sandalwood smell, you know, they're burning those kind of like incense that smell like a light wood. Really strong tangerine smell, super unisex. When we did the event, it was the fragrance that touched everyone. Everyone liked that fragrance at the event, everyone. A lot of people felt connected with that. It's really beautiful. I think it's gonna be the head of that brand. No? I'm not joking, I think this is masterpiece level. I love this. By the way, it's been created by the Studio Flair. And in the Studio Flair, there's Amélie Bourgeois that created that studio. I trust these perfumers with my heart. She's an amazing perfumer. My number 2 is Sugar Leather from by Une Nuit Nomade. I've talked about it recently in my latest video because I did a full review on Une Nuit Nomade. It's a leathery scent, but not a strong, heady, too much leathery. It's really an easy and pleasing leather. A very round smell, very dense, very enveloping, but I'd say still easy to wear for both gender to me, even though I think it's really sexy on men, especially. But anyway, you have a little bit of cinnamon. Yes?
I'm sorry, may I ask you your NHS number, please?
My NHS number?
Mm-hmm.
It smells sugared. You smell the crystal of sugar dropping on the leather note. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I really like this. This really caught me. Sorry. I felt a peak of stress. Anyway. And my top one is Eau de Jane Woman. It's an aromatic, woody fragrance. It smells like cypress. It's smart. It smells intelligent to me. Very sophisticated. I talk a lot about sophisticated fragrance today, but I really feel that green fragrance are very chic and very elegant. That's why. It smells like hemlock, so nearly like pine trees that you smell during that season. It's so beautiful. So it's encapsulated in violet flower as well, so the violet smell a bit like a powdery makeup style. If you're a lady, maybe you're gonna find this challenging because it smells a lot woody. Please try it because it's so sophisticated, it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite fragrances now on my skin. It develops beautifully, it's got a beautiful longevity without being aggressive. I think for men you should try as well because this is really something that feels unisex to me, even though I think I understand the point to call it woman because I think it gives a level of elegance that is top tier. And I encourage you to try the parfum, the extract if you can, because I think it's so much more buttery, so good. Chef's kiss. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you watch this video until the end, you can type the word autumn in the comment, so I will know that you watch until the end, and it's going to boost a little bit my algorithm, so I'm thankful for this. Guys, I will see you very soon. Bye now.
Je t'emmène dans mon paradis bleu.